You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk 1150 AM. Now, back to the show with local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell.
You are listening to The Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, October 15th show. You can also listen to my show podcast, Facebook premiere, or you can catch my show on my show YouTube channel. In addition, for upcoming events, you can go to TinaMitchellEvents.com. I am your host and local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell. I am here to help you build a strong financial blueprint, 1 week and one show at a time. If you are hearing my show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. I'm here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that I have on the show today. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or you can go online to themoneyhour.com. And now in studio, Uzma, Hamid of John L. Scott. There is always a silver lining right here on 1150 AM KKNW. And Uzma, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, very excited to chat with you, especially with what you and I are going through in a shift in the market right now. So a little bit about Uzma before moving to the beautiful Pacific Northwest and making an industry leap to real estate from corporate law. Uzma was a transactional attorney for 5 years. She guided national and multinational corporations from Asia, Europe, and North America through complex commercial transactions. In addition to being a licensed realtor, she is admitted to the bars of Washington State, England, and Wales, and Pakistan. She also holds an MBA finance with her education and background in law and business with an expertise in contracts and negotiation, and her passion for helping people. Uzma is a solid advocate for assisting people in making this crucial decision. She lives in Kirkland, loves traveling, interior design, and photography, runs a local photography studio, BubbleSnap Photography, and loves creating personalized art. So excited to have a conversation with you because we're in the same arena with myself in mortgage and you in real estate. So is there a good or bad time to buy real estate, Uzma?
It all depends, actually. Some people tend to focus on seasonality, by which we mean, we see seasonal trends in real estate. We have more listings and more activity in the spring and summer months, and that kind of sort of slows down relatively in fall. Or something specific in the market, which we are dealing with right now, higher interest rates, or should I say relatively higher interest rates, because again, it's all about perspective. It depends. So while it's good to keep an eye on those factors and to, pay attention to those should never be the reason why somebody should buy or sell. It should actually be about what's going on in your life, what are your goals, and what your situation and circumstances are. So just to give you an example, if there's a seller who thinks winter might be a great month for me to sell because there's going to be lesser competition, well, to counter that, we could say that there's also going to be fewer buyers looking in those months. So shouldn't focus on that. But winter could be a great time for that seller if, let's say, they need money, or maybe they're relocating, or any number of factors that are impacting their life in that particular moment. And another example would be, a discussion that I'm having with a lot of buyers these days, and I'm sure you can relate with that too, is everything is fine. They have the down payment. They are ready to move, but they are thinking that the interest rates are so high, so we should probably hold back on buying or, moving ahead with an investment property. Now, the point comes down to, is the interest rate, a specific situation in the market, such a big factor? Because there are tools to counter that. You could do a temporary buy down. You could do a permanent buy down. If everything else is working out, it could actually be a great time because sellers right now are very accommodating to negotiating, and you could actually get a very good deal right now. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is it depends on a person's circumstances, and It requires a very personalized discussion of what's going on in your life and what your goals are.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what should determine when one should buy or sell.
Yeah, great advice, because unlike any other investment, there's an emotional piece and there's a lifestyle with home ownership. And no matter what you're doing, you can't absolute get the bottom of the stock market or Bitcoin, and you can't absolute get the bottom of real
Absolutely.
estate. But what you know is you're in a position to be able to get a home and be able to possibly negotiate and get the lowest price on that home that we've had for years. And if the interest rates do go down, because there's a chance that they absolutely will, you just turn around and refinance, but you're able to get
Refinance,
your home.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
You sit around and
absolutely.
wait.
That's coming.
Uh,
That's coming. Next year we'll be refinancing. If not next year, year after.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
coming.
absolutely. That's what I think. And when that happens, everything's going to, just as the interest rates went up overnight, they're going to go down overnight as well. And then you've missed the
Yep.
opportunity, because the
Yep.
multiple offers are going to come right back up.
Exactly.
And yeah, so
And then you
great
might be
advice.
paying $200,000 above asking, and you would still be losing, waiving all contingencies.
Exactly.
So take advantage of the market now.
Get in there now. So what mistakes do you see that sellers are making, Uzma?
Essentially, trying to focus less on what the data and trends in the market are, and focusing more on what the neighbor maybe got a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, when you present data, most people are very understanding and they let go of that short-sighted opinion, because many people are just focusing on what Zillow is telling them or what a neighbor got. But the best example is right now we're in a transitional market, and the reality that was 2 months ago or 4 months ago is much different now.
Mhm.
So focusing on that never really helps. And I'm lucky that I get to work with people who pay attention to that data. I personally rely very heavily on data. And when you show them that this was the reality 6 months ago, and this is what the reality now is, most people understand. But if you don't, then that becomes a problem.
Yeah. And that's why you need to hire an expert, like Usman, in real estate,
Exactly.
that knows how to help you price. And then you need to listen to her advice on what you need to do to maximize the results at the end of it. Yeah. So Usman, what about buyers? What do you see buyers doing? What mistakes are they making?
So the real mistake I think buyers make is not really putting down their offer in writing and trying to verbally negotiate. I mean, when you're interested in a property, it's always a good idea to pick up the phone and chat with the other side and see where they're at. And, if there's anything specific that you can offer the seller to make your offer more enticing, and then use that to, structure your offer. But not wanting to actually put something down and insisting that let's figure out what's the seller's bottom line, for example. So no seller is going to give you the bottom line, because you as a buyer are not going to give the seller a bottom line. So put it down in writing and see how the seller responds. And then we have a more realistic idea of where we are at, what we need to adjust, and how to win if we want to win this. And if we are at all, in a zone where we can come to an agreement, or this is just not the property for us. So basically putting it down in writing. And I've seen multiple buyers, sometimes on my own listings, just trying to verbally negotiate and not putting it down in writing, and just losing out on the opportunity because somebody else came and the opportunity is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's not in writing, it doesn't exist, right?
It doesn't exist, exactly.
So what's happening in the market? We've obviously seen a shift without a doubt. But do you feel that we're in a balanced market or a buyer's market?
Neither. So
Okay.
for most price points and for most areas in our market, it is still very much a seller's market. It's just certain circumstances. The stock market is doing what it's doing. The midterm elections are coming up, and whenever there's uncertainty, people tend to hold back. It's a lot of external factors. It's only a few areas where we are in more of a maybe coming closer to a normal market. We are still very much in a seller's market. It's just the circumstances surrounding it. And as to your question about what I'm seeing in the market, I think we are going to be in a very strong market. We are going to continue being in a very strong market. As to my discussions with buyers who are hoping to wait, maybe the interest rates will go down, maybe the prices will come down, because what we read in the media sometimes is, oh my goodness, the market is crashing. You have to take the whole picture into account. You can't just compare now with maybe 1 year or 2 years. It's a whole perspective that you have to look at. So for example, if the media says that prices are crashing, maybe they're comparing now with last year when it was COVID and the situation was much different,
Yes.
right? But
Yes.
if, for anyone like that, I like to show them a trend. If you compare the prices now with pre-COVID times, you will see that the prices have appreciated. But if
Yes.
you compare it just with last year, yes, a house that was selling for, maybe $200,000 above list, you are not paying that kind of price. And that is the opportunity in this market. So
Yes.
the prices are not going down. The market is not crashing because real estate essentially is all about supply and demand. We have a very diversified economy, and we constantly bring in people. We have a steady demand. We don't have enough land. We don't have enough supply.
Mhm.
And when there's less supply, there's more demand, prices tend to go up.
Yes, absolutely. I'm telling my buyers this is a hidden opportunity. It will be a missed
Absolutely.
opportunity if you don't take
Yeah,
action. You're going to be sorry when
me
you wait
too.
for interest rates to go down and everybody
Yeah,
else waited as well. So get into the market. You don't lose money in real estate unless you're forced to sell in a bad market and you're not reinvesting in something at the
yeah,
same time. So get in and
absolutely.
take advantage of this opportunity. So where do you see the market going maybe in a longer term, Uzma?
Um, I will just start my answer to the previous question where I
Uh-huh.
said this is a very diversified economy. So we have, Washington is such a wonderful state. We have 8 major industries, actually probably more. We have, we have tech, we have food and agriculture, we have forest products. We have so many, we're a port city, we have distribution channels. There's so much going on here. We offer so much to the world. We are constantly bringing people into the area, and people need houses to live. And like I said, in an answer to a previous question, we just don't have enough land. We just don't have enough supply. And when those two things, there's a deficit between those two things, your market has to be strong.
Yeah.
There's just no way it can come down. So I see a very strong market going forward. And for anyone who can afford to be a home buyer, now is as good a time as any. And I've been saying that since forever, because now is always a great time to be a homeowner because you're only going
Absolutely.
to see appreciation.
Yeah, the inventory is for sure. If you, and I'm really glad that you mentioned employment, because if you look at the history of real estate, it always follows employment.
It does.
Always.
Absolutely.
And, right now builders are not building because the cost to build, sellers are not selling, and they're not going to unless rates go down because they're sitting at an under 3% interest rate and the
Yep.
interest rates are higher. And so that's what's causing and will
Yep.
continue to cause the supply and demand, which means over a period of time, the real estate value is going to continue to go up. So
And
why
that
is
we
it?
also see in the trend. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you there. That's
No,
also
no.
what we see in the trend. If you go back as far back as you want, except for any specific situation that happened, like COVID happened, or the financial crisis of 2008, 2010 happened. If you ignore that, the prices are steadily going up. So there's actual data supporting that.
And if you bought at the top of the market in the financial meltdown and the Great Recession of 2008, you did not lose money unless you were forced to sell in the market and you weren't reinvesting at the same
Exactly.
time.
Absolutely.
So it's all a period of time
Yeah.
in real estate. So Uzma, why is it important to work with a realtor professional?
It's whether it's a real estate professional or it's any industry, any professional. Of course, the first step is to find a good one. But once you find the good one, the value that the professional brings is they are doing this day in and day out. So if a plumber takes 10 minutes to fix a leak, it's not because it was easy. It was because the plumber has 15, 20, or whatever number of years of experience to know what the problem is and what needs to be fixed, and he's in and out. So that applies to any industry, whether it's real estate or any professional. The example I would like to give again is the current market. It's a transitional market. And sometimes people think, oh my goodness, finding a home is so easy. I can go on Redfin and I can find a home. Absolutely, you can find a home, but finding a home is just a piece of the picture. And there's so much more that goes into it. And the best part about working with a professional in a market like this is knowing where you can negotiate, how far you can take those negotiations, what you can give, what you can get. So it's about overall getting a good deal. So it's a real estate professional, it's a plumber, it's a mortgage professional, it's a medical professional, anyone, they know what they're doing. And if you can trust them, trust me, that's the best thing you can do for yourself.
Absolutely. And everybody looks at the beginning of the process. A lot of the work happens once you're under contract and getting to the end of the process. You don't want any issues there. So I've got a less than a minute with you. Really quickly, one tip that you would like to give anyone that's considering investing in real estate, Uzma.
Don't wait. Like I just said, don't wait. My favorite quote of all times, Will Rogers said, "Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait." So just don't wait. Go ahead.
That is great advice. And I'm right there with you. Take advantage of the opportunity or it will be a missed one. Uzma, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your expertise
for
with
having
my
me.
listeners. Absolutely.